Wednesday, my dude.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat. It is Wednesday, my dudes. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing? I'm just glad to be here with my slap and tickle, not working, having a good day.
We're back to the slap and tickle. Cheers. Yeah. I like it. You just decided you need that extra alcohol content. I'm with you.
Well, no, I'm still on my routine. I have one or two of these, and then I switch to a terribly tasting light beer, and then I even have a third phase of non-alcoholic beer. So if I want to keep drinking, because I'm determined here.
Wait, okay, I don't understand how non-alcoholic beer is less caloric or carby than alcoholic beer. What are the what's the calorie content? Like, I don't think you are doing. I don't get it.
So the non-alcoholic beer is 60 calories. The Corona Premier is 90. This is like 300.
But is that bigger?
Yeah, this is like a Corona and a half. So this might even be more than 300.
So sorry. Then it is definitely still more caloric to have that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, you should just switch to like shots of vodka or tequila.
I have that option. I do have that option.
Well, I'm glad that you're slapping and tickling right now, at least.
Not on air. I don't do that.
Never mind. You're I'm about to malign somebody. It wasn't Jim McCarthyite.
Jeffrey Toobin?
Yeah, Jeffrey Toobin. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Please do make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. I want to make sure that we get to say hi to everybody. Thank you for all your retweets and your comments. I really, really appreciate it. So does Pat. It helps the algorithm, all that good stuff. I'm always going to laugh when I see Cut the Cheese, which I love, but I know I've said this before. That's the name of our, business for Josh as a writer, because he started off as a comedy writer and he thought it was funny to have it called Cheese Cutters. That's what I'm married to. Cheese Cutters. Anyway, I love, you're muted.
No, I told you this before, but as I needed to have a company when I published my book, self-published.
Yeah.
So it was Peter Douche. So I called it Peter Douche Industries, and I still get free pens that say Peter Douche Industries, because they send you all these little freebies that are like one-offs.
Totally.
And I got a pile of them.
That's
Peter
really
Douche
funny.
Industries.
I love it. I gotta say, I saw one of the first cuts of Josh's new movie yesterday. He had a very small screening for like his agents, and it's really good, but it is really gory and gross, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I'm super proud of him. I wish he'd go back to comedy. I spent most of the time like this, and I had to like not be too like derisive in my groans and moans and pointed at him, because it sort of is offensive to me that it's so gory, but like it's people he needs to impress. So, and there were only like 5 of us, so I had to be very quiet. Anyway,
well, and that's the gory is, you may not like it, but it's a selling point for his industry.
Yeah,
so
it is. I hate it. I hate it, but the movie's really good. Okay. So hi, on to real life gore. Oh my God. Every week I am so hopeful that something might happen. I'm not really hopeful at all, but nothing good. Nothing good happens. The House just passed the NDAA.
We're Israel now. We are Israel.
We're just merged. We're merged. Yep. Adam Smith had some really interesting things to say about it on Breaking Points yesterday, which I know we will talk about in a few minutes. But how dare you be the person to introduce it and then not vote for it just so you can act like you don't support the very thing that you angled to ensure. You fucking disgusting genocidal pig, you.
Yeah, well, hey, the good news is we don't have to go through this fucking circus show pretending we're gonna vote, no on supporting Israel from now on.
Right.
Like we're just gonna green light it all behind the scenes, and we're never gonna talk about it anymore. It's just gonna happen without us being involved at all. And all the politicians are completely shielded from now on.
Of course they are. They are totally shielded. If Adam Smith, who introduced that section 219, 224, then 219, and then he doesn't vote for it because he knows it's going to pass and he gets to say it out loud. It's because he's disgusted with Netanyahu's government. Fuck off. Like, that should be prohibited. He should never feel like he can say those words out loud. Would you talk about like how proud you are of your Nazi votes? No.
Yeah. And look, this is another reason. I mean, we're going to get into all the breaking point stuff, but like, that's why you have Shama Sawant on, because this guy should be one of the biggest enemies we've got as a leftist.
Yeah.
So do better.
I mean,
breaking points.
Yeah. I think we've all been in their mentions trying to get them to do better. And I am hopeful. Why do I keep saying that word? But I do hope that they take the criticism and don't just block everybody.
It feels like they are going to in this case, because they are getting a lot of heat for this that's not helpful to them. And at some point, who's your audience? You want it to be just a bunch of centrists and right wingers? Yes, they had a really good interview, and they took they took Smith down pretty well.
Yeah,
I mean, in defense, but if you don't give someone an alternative to vote for, and you never mention Shama Sawant one time in the goddamn interview, what are you doing?
Not once. I know. I mean, it was really insane to me that you don't even say, well, okay, well, we're going to get into all
save
of
it. Save it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's highlight somebody who is doing really beautiful work. This is in Barcelona. It is a bookstore that has one of its divisions solely devoted to Palestinian books and history.
Someone came in and tried to destroy the books that was making up that section on Palestine. So that's why we decided to launch this bookshop here. Hi, I'm Olivia Watson. I'm the director of the bookshop Finestras Palestina, and I'm going to introduce you around the bookshop. The Finestras Palestina is a branch of a larger bookshop called Finestras, which is in the center of Barcelona, and that's a general bookshop that sells all kinds of books. We also had a section dedicated to human rights and to Palestine, which was vandalized in the summer of 2025. And the foundation that runs the bookshops decided to put even more resources into supporting the Palestinian movement, and decided to create this beautiful bookshop, and it's dedicated entirely to Palestine. So we have a huge number of Palestinian writers, authors here, and obviously lots of books on the Palestinian context. Barcelona is a progressive center, and it's been very, very supportive of the Palestinian cause, and especially since the start of the genocide in 2023. Gracia in particular, which is the neighborhood we're in at the moment, is a very progressive center inside the progressive city. So that's why we decided to launch this bookshop here. And the reaction has been really incredible. It was very moving to see everybody so excited about this project. So what you see is designed by the Palestinian Valencian architect Malek Murad, and you can see the details that he decided, so the colors of the Palestinian flag, the map, of course, in the fountain. I think what we've all been witnessing since 2023 is not only genocide, so destruction of a people, but also their culture and heritage. Libraries have been targeted, and so that means that all of this, all the writing that you see that's so important, is gone. So for us, it was important also to make a space where we could do our part to try to protect that. But yeah, it's been a wonderful thing, and I hope that plenty of people will continue to come.
That's just beautiful, especially, obviously we know that they have destroyed every single library, school, store in Gaza. And obviously they're doing the same thing with all these pogroms in the West Bank. And the Palestinian gentleman in Gaza who was recreating his own little library on the side of a street of rubble, digging out books and putting them out there for people to be able to use and share and read. So that is really beautiful. That's beautiful. Cheers to them for doing it. I love it. Love it.
It is. And kudos to Spain. They've been amazing on Palestine this entire time.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I know their president's
I love
good. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I love also that, the place was vandalized. And so they use that as an opportunity to say, well, double fuck you then. Right.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And, in the US, if you do anything pro-Palestine and somebody were to vandalize it, you could have a GoFundMe and build that up 10 times stronger overnight because people are behind it.
Also, if that had happened to a Jewish bookstore or an Israeli bookstore, we never would have heard the end of it. Yeah. So, yes. Okay. We all are very aware of the hypocrisy, the genocidal hypocrisy. I don't know. I feel sometimes like I'm a broken record. But what can we do? They are too. Okay. Well, because we are right now, lauding Spain, let's take a look at, sorry, let me get that out of there, at España Campeona by Persia Boy.
Uno, dos, tres. ¡Vamos España! They wanted Argentina. They wanted Spain to fall. But La Roja came dancing and answered them all. No a la guerra, sí a la paz. España campeona, no pueden parar. ¡Ay, ay, ay! Vamos, vamos España, baila, baila sin parar. One goal, one world, one message tonight. No to the war, let the red flags fly. Vamos, vamos España, rojo y oro, heroes roar. They chose their side, now look at the score. 1-0, no war anymore. Why? Pressurizing the whole world, watch. Spain kept moving, the clock never stopped them. Ferran arrived and he buried the goal. One perfect strike, now they're losing control. They call Spain weak for refusing their war. Now Spain stands tall while the champions roar. They wanted missile Spain, answer with peace. Then answered on the beach with a masterpiece. Desde Madrid hasta Palestina, la gente canta, la noche ilumina. No más bomba, no más dolor. España responde con fútbol y honor. Vamos, vamos España, baila, baila sin parar. One goal, one world, one message tonight. No to the war, let the red flags fly. Vamos, vamos España, rojo y oro, heroes roar. They chose their side, now look at the score. 1-0, no war anymore. España, ¿cómo quedó? 1-0. No a la guerra. Otra vez. No a la guerra. España se coronó. La guerra no ganó. 1-0. 1-0. No a la guerra. Sí a la paz. España campeona. Sacred defense.
I love that. Isn't that fun?
I love that one. I mean, they're all Legos and soccer balls don't get along very well. So that's the hard. I've never seen a good soccer ball depiction in the game, but I love the international solidarity piece to it. And the fact that they did a lot of it in Spanish as well. It's just, it's, as a socialist, like that's
that they've been so fantastic at doing that, at making those connections every time.
Yeah, because it's not like, even though we want to change our world here, like it's all connected, and that's the message always as a leftist. It's like, everybody,
it's not
humanity.
a whole song video, but the other main, explosive media. So Persia Boy is God is his name. I think Mehmet Hamad. I'm gonna get it wrong. But explosive media are still incognito, but they're the other ones who, put these out or have, done the most since the beginning. And they put something out about the 3 U.S. military people who were just killed and how sad it was, and it is horrific. Like, but the fact that they could, and sure, I get it, propaganda, whatever. I mean, they've said that they're not supporters of the current administration regime of Iran, but obviously they don't want to be bombed by the U.S. But still, even in this moment where you're getting bombed, where, we're bombing civilian infrastructure, again, another piece just came out to show that like it was a triple tap. Mahdi Hammett, thank you, David, on the on the kids' school, Manab, and also, bridges and water plants and all of that, and still to have the wherewithal to highlight 3,
to show the empathy for 3. And that's the part that's really interesting, watching a lot of CNN lately, is that they're focused on like 3 Americans died and, oh my God, Iran is targeting infrastructure. Well, like,
and
why are they
all their neighbors?
They are retaliating on infrastructure in retaliation to what we have been doing openly in front of the entire world, announcing that we are targeting infrastructure illegally.
They never.
So yes, they are. And yes, it's a tragedy that 3 people, recently died. One of which was trying to disarm a drone. So it's not like they weren't the target of it. They died as a result of disarming the drone.
Right.
So, I don't want to say incompetence. I don't know, who knows? But like, to compare these 2 things as if like, oh, we should still be at war with them because they are now targeting back at the infrastructure as we have been doing. And, oh, they just killed 3 people. Well, we started the war bombing a school of children and girls school, mostly. Like, so.
Yeah. The propaganda on display. And again, obviously I know every regime has propaganda, but our regime's propaganda is so ugly. It denies everyone's humanity and always acts as though history starts on the day that something bad happens to us or one of our allies, right? Like October 7th, that's all we ever hear about. And even like, look, this is the, what's his name? The leader in chief. You guys, my brain, not great. It's not doing well. But who writes about something like this? Like, this is right after 3 more people were dead. And by the way, there, so many of our bases in Gulf countries have been completely demolished. And whether or not they're telling us the truth about how many actual deaths there are of our troops, there are hundreds of brain injuries from those they are admitting to. That's not good either. But
also like, but this almost shows the humanity of Iran, right? I mean, it's like only 18 dead compared to, the bilateral aggression from us. I mean, the
100%, like the absolutely
asymmetrical.
Yeah. And the lack of any kind of discrimination between military and civilians.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like, just to write this, like to be proud of it in the aftermath of 3 of our own people being killed by his ridiculous war, illegal war, Afghanistan war, 20 years, 2,000 dead. Also, some of these numbers feel low, but anyway, Iraq war, 9 years. I mean, he's talking about our own troops, 4,600 dead. Vietnam war, 19 years and 5 months, 58,220 dead. Korean war, 3 years and 1 month, 36,574 dead. Venezuela war. Did he get an approval for Congress now that he's calling it a war? One
It's
day,
a war, huh?
0 dead. Iran military conflict, 4 months, 18 dead. So he's saying that with pride.
Yeah, but okay. Well, now do the economic cost to the world.
I mean, that will be, millions dead, actually.
Trillions. Well, no, I mean trillions just on the economy side, but yes.
That's going to, the aftermath of that is going to be horrific. Look what we're doing to Cuba. How many preventable deaths because they don't have electricity, they don't have power, they don't have helium, which is used in so many medical situations. I mean, like to sit there and with like some amount of pride when he should be solemn, at least in public. Like, I don't know. It is really despicable.
Well, they say just from the U.S. aid cuts, probably 1 million people have died already. 1 million people from our cuts.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doge.
Thanks, Doge.
Thanks, trillionaire.
I'm so torn because obviously any preventable deaths because of vaccinations or, humanitarian aid. But I also know that USAID has a lot of, it's a lot of CIA infiltration, and a lot of people in their native countries do not want U.S. troops there at all because we bring death with us no matter what. Exactly.
I mean, that piece of it should have been changed and should still be changed.
Yeah.
But the aid, that program prevented other aid from getting through that would get through if there were alternative ways to do it. So it's just like Hillary's victory fund. Like, yes, we would have sent all that, instead of giving all the money to Bill Clinton's brothers and all the cronies for Haiti
and everywhere. Yep, exactly.
Real aid would have gotten through, but this isn't the case. This program has been there forever. There are lots of doctors and scientists and people who've been behind all these programs to vaccinate the world, and that's all just gone. They're like, it's just overnight gone.
I hope that, I keep using the word hope, but if Democrats do get in power, there's at least some cohort that tries to take all of these people down, like really prosecute them for the horrors that they have unleashed on the world. Because
not happening.
Yeah, I know. They never will. Okay, let's see what's going on with our party of opposition. They are settling on a new phrase now, thanks to Ms. Haley Stevens.
I'm not in the complaining class of politics. I'm in the doing class and the winning class of winning tough elections. And I make no bones about it. We are absolutely in a primary. Democrats are being called to go out to vote. I'm honored to earn folks' votes. To your viewers watching, we've got a big election on August 4th. Anyone in Michigan, I'd be so honored to earn your vote that day because I'll beat Mike Rogers. The Republicans are propping up Abdul because they think it's going to make it easier for Mike Rogers to win this seat, to flip it Republican. I don't plan on making anything easier for Republicans or Mike Rogers.
Apex put $60 million into her campaign. Nobody thinks that she's an easy win for anything. That money, and I hope it does, because nothing better could happen to their money than actually, that's not true. Their money should be going to help people, but it will be hilarious when it blows up in their face.
And I'm going to go with when, because she's cooked. I mean, we don't want to encourage not to get out there and vote, but she is not going to win this thing. I mean, the desperation of her campaign with when your final stretch pledges or slogans or whatever you want to call it, are getting abused so severely. Yeah. It just shows you where the public is. Like Twitter is not real life. Yes, Twitter is not the voting people out there, but if she posts something on Twitter, she gets ratioed to fucking death.
I mean, she made her last campaign slogan out of it, stick it to them, because it was so embarrassing that she decided just to lean into it and own it.
Yeah, and then they had all the PR that all backfired. That we're pointing out all these people who are clearly paid by her campaign, or at least on messaging, because they're all in some boardroom.
Yep.
And this is the new one. This is the new one. Like what is it? Complaining class. Complaining class.
Same account who pointed out all of the people who are talking about her authenticity is now pointing out all the people who are talking about complaining class. So they've decided that is going to be the new phrase, complaining class.
But if you think about it, like they're obviously trying to extend it to, leftists are coming up and complaining about the system and not getting stuff done, right? So complaining versus getting stuff done. Right. But all people hear in this is shut up, like keep it down. Like,
do you want Trump?
The system works. The system is working is what the underlying psychology of it is when you say don't be part of the complaining class. Like the public wants complainers and fighters, not like, I know the system, I work the system, and I know that you've been in the House. People there locally know you sucked for them. So
and also like we should be complaining. The billionaires complain if you threaten to tax like a morsel from them. They complain, they throw fits, they say they're going to take their ball and move to Florida or Texas, and they do. They complain all the fucking time. What are you talking about? And we have a right to complain with people dying with no health care, and you cannot even make a living wage on one job for most of this country. So complain. Of course.
Dude, people want politicians beheaded. So if you're going to say don't complain, if that's your core message, like you're in deep shit. Yeah. And she's in deep shit. It's worse than they're saying. It's worse. She's going to get walloped. It's not going to be close.
I mean, I have to agree. I think Emily's List just did like with their own polling company, did a poll in Michigan and didn't release that race. They just did other congressional and local races and released that. So it must be brutal.
Yeah, but then a couple people behind the scenes said, we talked to some people. We have some secret stuff that we know is, it's better than it looks.
Yes.
Like, no,
hide that from everybody.
Yeah, you're hiding that in the face of 2 weeks of terrible press she's gotten. Sure.
Remember when Mayo Pete lobbied to get the Iowa? Wait, was it Iowa? I think it was the Iowa caucus poll the week before the caucus was happening.
The straw poll.
And to get it not to be released for the first time like ever in the history of that local paper, because it was so clear that Bernie was going to beat him, and then he cheated.
Remember then? That was great.
That was fun. Yeah. Oh my God. We're just never getting out of 2016, 2020. And
as I was telling you earlier, I recently synced up a new phone that's already broken, thanks modern technology. But somehow I got connected to my Google Photos, which I had lost, and they were archived, and the new phone picked them up. So it's every day it sends me like shit from Bernie 2016. It's like,
I know.
Hey, it sent me meeting Nina Turner for the first time, giving her a hug with the NNU president at the time. And it's like, it's like, that was 7 years ago. So I, in my mind, it was like either 20 years ago or like last week, but it's exactly 7 years ago that.
Yeah. Then I really did have a lot of hope. I really did. Up until
that was peak hope. Yeah.
Yep. May 4th killed my hope. All right. But they are really, really pushing this whole thing again, just trying to destroy anybody to their left. And again, the things that they're so upset about are what's pretty much available in most of the rest of the developed world, right? Like, these are not, the one person that they keep sort of pointing to is Daria Lisa Chevalier, my love. But anyway, they don't like that she says no borders and abolish police, defund the police, and abolish, the carceral system, which I haven't like probed into the minutia of that with her, but like, all right, but most of the Democrats supported genocide. Like, what are you talking about? You're obviously fine with people who do mass murder. You all were hugging Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Anthony Blinken. Like, you're fine with people who commit mass murder not going to jail.
Yeah, they are.
What's the problem? But they're acting like these people who basically are just kind of embodying what the FDR period was, which like created the middle class, which is what made America sort of great for white middle class people. I know not for all people. I really understand that. But like that, those economic policies were incredibly popular, and we would broaden them out to everybody in this country. It would be universal, the way all of our policies are meant to be. And they're acting like that is radical, and it's destroying our country. It's destroying the Democratic Party. And they're doing it at a time when the fascist administration that they enabled are creating McCarthyite blacklists of people.
They are. And we know you fight fascism with public policy. You offer an alternative that gives good things out. You put them out there as bribes. Like, here's healthcare. Here's this, you know. And instead, we have a Democratic Party that's like, wait a minute, we had a pandemic. That was an excuse. We were forced to give you some little perks. You little people pulled that away right away instead of like remaining in power for decades by actually expanding those programs, which would have been the way to power. But, you know, the bipartisan power at the top depends on like nobody gets good shit if you're, you know, not a multimillionaire.
So this, I mean, okay, obviously, who cares because it's the Atlantic, but I do like the idea that this James Kirchick is writing in the Atlantic that the DSA is a parasite. I mean, part of the reason that they are amassing some of these wins is that they get out there, they canvass, they are knocking doors, they are spreading messages. They're not doing it off of, you know, billionaire money. Like, to call them a parasite because they are putting themselves inside the Democratic Party. But when they go, if you tried to go to the Green Party, then we'd have AOC and, you know, everybody else laughing at them and saying, oh, look, they're pathetic. Why would the Green Party only shows up at elections?
And it translates to calling your own voters pathetic. Right. That's what it, because like, okay, take Bernie 2016 and 2020. You know, I went to the Democratic convention events for California. Right. And you've got millions of Bernie people. It looks like a Grateful Dead festival. There are people dressed up as Bernie. There's these organic signs. There's all this creativity and art around it because it's real. It's organic. Yeah. And then you got Kamala going through with the drum circle she's paying for, and they all have printed Kinko's signs. And it's just like, you can see the difference. Yeah. And so when you're talking about a group as big as DSA is, and you're like shitting on them as like the communists taking over the party that are going to ruin America somehow, like, for your own sake as a party, you're shitting on your own public. You need these voters.
I mean, it really is like, it should be stunning to people who are still normie Dems to see how much they are reviled by the people in power, because they are excited about this. They are excited, even if it's going out to the, you know, No King's March. They're excited to like get out in community and fight what they think at that point is fighting against Trump. But like, then you hone that and you keep moving forward with that energy. And every time we get any of that energy, they crush it, because that actually scares them. They do not want an energized public. They just don't.
Right. And that's the reality that we all know, is that if they leaned into any of this DSA ideology or these candidates, they would win in a landslide. Their biggest opponent is the Democratic Party.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. So let's, because this is just playing out, I mean, over and over and over. This is Van Jones making another splash with his great take on the far left being regressive.
I've been waiting my whole life to see a youth movement do what it's doing. but it's being hijacked by people who are putting in nutty ideas supporting terrorists, nutty ideas saying that we don't need cops in prison. We can't deport anybody even if they rape somebody. Who said this? Chevalier. If we can't say right from wrong, if we can't say good from bad, if we can't separate progressive ideas from regressive ideas, we're going down the same pathway that has pulled the Republican Party into an unrecognizable shell of itself. And I refuse to let that happen to Democrats.
And the other problem...
I am a progressive Democrat. You want to talk about prison reform? I've done it as well as anybody, Republican Democrats in the South with Trump. I've done prison reform. I never said have no prisons. Where are you going to put the Klan? I've done police reform. I never said no police. Where are you going to put the pedophiles? Who's going to grab the pedophiles? This stuff is going too far.
Okay, so where do we put Americans who rape? Like, do we deport them? What do we do with American people who are convicted of rape? Like, I mean, all that's showing is like his own xenophobia, right?
Yeah, well, he's simplifying it. He's taking the most radical positions of anybody that is left of him,
right,
and painting that as everybody left of him, like everybody left of him believes all this stuff, and he's mischaracterizing what these positions represent anyway, right? There, very few people are like, we will have no people locked up. Like right. That's a pretty extreme position. Even the abolish people aren't like really saying nobody's locked up.
Right. I mean, or that we just ignore it entirely, right? Like if somebody is here legally, whether you're a citizen or not a citizen, but you're here legally and you do a horrific crime, there's a process for that. So like, why would that be automatically you're deported? Like, right. That's just, I don't know. He's awful. He's truly awful.
But also, like, okay, let's say you infuse some of these far left, truly radical people in the system. That just moves if they have power, it just moves things a little closer to their position. We don't wake up and have all that in place. The system won't allow it. So you're still gonna just nudge your way over there within the political system. Now, if we on the outside flip the table over and actually do something, maybe we can get some real change. But as it stands, the people trying to work within the party, if you're going to attack them, you're saying all we have left is flip the table over.
Yeah. And yes, that is one part of it I totally agree with. And the other part is a lot of what they're saying is popular, and he is kind of creating straw men because obviously, first of all, even abolitionists don't think that like, oh, tomorrow we won't have cops. It's a long process, as you said, progress takes time and all that stuff. But he's doing exactly what, Biden did when he came into office. And there was enormous support for defund the police, the policies that actually entails of diverting funds and funding social programs and different kinds of responses. And I mean, look, Biden came in and we lost any social safety net that had come in because of COVID protections. He yanked that away, took away defund the police, took away any talk about the Green New Deal, took away any focus on Me Too. All that went away. Never talked again about a public option, even though we knew it was bullshit. But like there went Medicare for all. And so they're not unpopular until you assholes in power who make millions of dollars to sit at a desk on CNN or MSNBC tell people over and over that person's unelectable. That person's unelectable. Zohar Mamdani, he doesn't support Israel as a Zionist state. Unelectable. And then they're proven wrong. Oh, well, only in New York. That has the most Jews of any place other than Israel. Only in New York could the guy who is pro-Palestine. Yeah, like they're well, and all these arguments to people that are informed about these positions are laughable. Yeah.
We know where the public stands. We've been in this game. We've talked to people. We see polls. Like, we know that Van Jones is propaganda, period. Like it's done. You can't. So the only people that buy this stuff are the people not really close to this stuff anymore, which it still works on a lot of people. But issue by issue, I don't think you're going to get anyone to agree with him on this stuff other than centrists. Like the public, informed people don't. They're like, immediately, like he, even 5 years ago, he had a lot of cred with leftist people, and I would even agree with him occasionally. And but we all did. But once you see him fight against his own position, and it's just so blatantly false a couple times, you're like, no, he's working for them, and Van Jones is working for them.
Oh my God, 100%. Actually, Glenn Greenwald put out a clip from his show last night, just talking about when he and Van Jones both first started sort of coming up and getting invited to all the parties of the elite and all that kind of stuff. And that access and the protection of their own capital and the offers of money and the book advances and the deals to be a pundit and all that kind of stuff are very difficult to reject. And then once you take them and those are your friends and that's your milieu, right? Like then that's the area that you want to protect. And so that's, he might not even realize that he's doing it anymore. It probably just comes natural. Like he's one of them now. So he's a total sellout, and he calls himself a progressive, which is hilarious. Words have
I don't know if he believes it or not, but for sure he's in that circle. And he, when he talks, he's always trying to remind us about his resume from fucking 30 years ago.
Right.
Which just tells you like so now what? Now what are you doing now? Huh?
Yeah.
You're fighting now. You're working with Trump to get a fucking carrots in the prisons for prison mates or something. Like, that's the kind of shit these people do now. Yeah.
Super progressive. And you can tell because these are his friends, right? You've got the Josh Gottheimer, glad to see other Democrats reiterating what I've been saying all along. The DSA are not Democrats. They're socialists who want to hijack the Democratic Party. The Democrats have a big tent. That's our strength. We embrace a range of ideas, but there's no room for anti-American bomb throwers who oppose our ideas, values, and leaders. He should tell that to Josh Shapiro, who's signing bombs that are going to go get dropped on, Russian civilians.
Yeah, and if he just ended that phrase correctly with anti-war, there's no room in our party for anyone anti-war. That's right. That's accurate. Yeah. And there are other classes excluded, but that's the biggest one. Yeah. At this point.
They are really scared. And, I know we talk about this all the time, but by saying like, we have a big tent, it's big enough for the Cheneys, for George W., for like big enough for Mitt Romney, all of them big enough, not big enough for what is actually wanted by most of our voters. How long is that disparity going to be able to play out?
Yeah, the tent isn't big enough for people who want things that used to be on our platform 2 years ago until we had power and decided we got to get that out of there before they could get it.
Exactly.
Those people we don't want in our party anymore.
And then, it just gets more and more disgusting. This Fred Gutenberg, listen, I am so sorry that his daughter was a victim of a school shooting. That's horrifying. No parent should ever have to bury his child. Like, of course, but he uses his platform, and I'm sure he's paid by the, DNC people, to shit all over people who are upset about Palestinian children being slaughtered. And he has absolutely no ability to make that correlation. It's so hideous. So here he is talking about Rashida Tlaib. So this was from last week when we showed all the Haley Stevens influencers who were saying, oh, I don't know, she's really growing on me, right? So Rashida Tlaib put out, now influencers are being paid to say that she's growing on them. They will never erase the fact that Haley Stevens took corporate PAC money from companies who are hurting Michiganders. And Fred Gutenberg quote tweets that and says, hey, Rashida Tlaib, you are a cancer on the Democratic Party and America. You and your stupid protest vote are the reason we have a second Trump term. You are not a Democrat, but you certainly use the party. As for influencers, check your own house and other fight agency clients like Plattner. Like I said, you are a cancer. That's really dangerous rhetoric, I think, to be putting out there. Again, somebody who gets death threats all the time, who the whole, Congress came together to censure because she said, free Palestine or from the river to the sea.
Yeah. I mean, what exactly makes her a cancer? Like if you had to break that down and tell him, and he had to put a little outline together of like what he would be embarrassed say that stuff. But it's hidden under a cover of just blanket support for Israel is what it is.
That's exactly right. That's all it is. Yeah. But it is actually, it's psychotic. Like, it is just so crazy for him to write that way about her. And again, for what? For what? Yeah.
What's her high crime? That's what I want to know. What's her high crime?
She cares about Palestinians.
Give it to me.
I mean, it really
Miss
is
Rachel
funny.
Also. Why doesn't he say that about Miss Rachel? He probably has, but
that Gutenberg tweet was as Islamophobic as anything Randy Fine has posted. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It is gross. Okay, so wait, which is this that I'm doing here? Oh, yeah. David Pakman came out with a video that we will not make you all suffer through. But again, it was, I'm not even a Democrat, but these DSA people, get out of the party. You're not even a real Democrat. They say that to people who are to their left. They never say that to Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren, who were actual Republicans before they became Democrats. Yeah. That's okay, right? But anyway,
the biggest beef I ever had with Pac-Man was over me defending Jimmy Dore on Force the Vote.
Yeah.
Like, we never had any beef, but then that one, I don't like Jimmy Dore at all. I can't stand the fucking dude. But his $1 million house in LA was like the biggest reason that you can't trust Jimmy Dore to Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Who's a Canadian, first off.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand LA. And the issue was Force the Vote, not Jimmy Dore. Yeah. And Pac-Man was the leader, one of the leaders of tying the Jimmy Dore thing to being against pushing any pressure on the squad.
It's always in such bad faith. They're going to pick out one person of your supporters, one person who supports something that is actually good for people, and try to smear, that's what they're doing with all of the things that Plattner ran on, the words that he said, the economic populism. They're going to try to paint that as, well, anybody who wants that is just like Plattner, somebody who is accused of raping his girlfriend, right?
To connect Rashida Tlaib to Plattner is just doesn't pass the smell test. There's through
the agency that they're trying to blacklist, the fight agency.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, as Austerity is Theft reminds us from Taylor Lorenz's great piece from last year in August, Dark Money Group that's secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. Olivia Giuliana, who was one of the people who said, I don't know, Haley Stevens really is growing on me last week, and David Pakman are both part of those, the list of the paid influencers for the DNC. Gross. All right. Should we show a clip from the Breaking Point interview just so we can discuss it with Adam Smith? Or
we should shortly.
Pat knows how to keep us on schedule to find some moments of joy. That's good. I haven't had enough to drink either. Oh, I might have to pour myself another drink while we watch a Lego, but let me just see. There's another one I think that is relevant to today. If I labeled it properly. One second. Where did it go?
We all have like 10 Lego videos in studio.
We have a lot of them. We really do. Okay, this is about the wildfires up in Canada that's destroying the air for Canadians and for,
Speaking of Canadians, Pac-Man. So
there you go. Oh, see that?
Good
ties in.
Good pivot.
And this is Proja Boy again.
Invaded by air, invaded by smoke. Everybody blinking like this, got to be a joke. You can't tariff wind, you can't sanction sky. Build a wall for the clouds while the ashes fly. Invaded by air, invaded by breeze. Pointing at Canada every time you sneeze. Smoke crossed over, now it's wartime flare. Breaking news, we're invaded by air. Said the forest failed, somebody pay. Now the wind's the enemy crossing the way. Tariffs on smoking, voices on breeze. Charging Mother Nature custom fees. Call the Prime Minister, what'd you allow? Like somebody ordered invaded the clouds somehow. North wind blowing, headlines flare. National emergency, yes, oxygen warfare. One gust, one speech. Now the weather needs a passport. Invaded by air, invaded by smoke. Everybody blinking like this, gotta be a joke. You can tariff wind, you can sanction sky. Build a wall for the clouds while the ashes fly. Pointing north with cameras rolling. Meanwhile the jet stream just keep flowing. Nature don't stop at the borderline. Wind don't care where politicians sign. Smoke don't vote, clouds don't choose. Can't prosecute atmospheric news. Mother Nature don't answer prayer, or customs agents checking air. Who's next?
Rain,
Snow?
the sunlight crossed the border too.
Invaded by air, invaded by smoke. History books couldn't write this joke. Tariff the wind if you think it's fair. Good luck collecting from the air.
Sacred defense.
The sky has no checkpoint.
The wind has no passport.
The clouds don't stop at customs.
Sacred defense.
I love that. I think it's so creative, like tariff the wind. I mean, he's putting more tariffs on Canada because of the fires, not saying, how can we support our neighbors? What do you need?
Well, and we've changed our okay, so in case people don't know, gas and wind are now cheaper than oil, right? So we changed our
energy.
Renewable energy is now. It used to be as prospective being cheaper. We crossed that threshold. It's cheaper.
Yep.
Right. It's just flat out cheaper, period. Now to do that, to use natural gas or solar or wind, not natural gas, solar or wind. And so what do? We have a war on fucking wind now in America. Like it's cheaper, and we have an environment that can't wait. It's cheaper. What are we doing?
How will that help your automobile friends and your big oil friends? And by the way, part of the reason that China was able to reduce its importing of oil is because they have invested so heavily in renewables. And then, that is one thing I really don't understand. There's never any pushback on any of the Glenn Deason or other shows where they have these sort of like ex-CIA or ex-military analysts coming on, and they're almost all of them are very right wing, and they're all like, we got to get rid of all this green New Deal crap. Like, what are you talking about? It's so clear right now how desperately we should all be moving over to renewables.
And Democrats aren't even making that a case. They're not making the case for that anymore. They've just dropped every fucking thing that people need from their platform now.
Yep.
It's just vibes.
It's crazy.
And let me tell you, I mean, just real quick. So, I'm an electrician. So I talk to once in a while we do a house, we change the whole panel. The utilities are out there, and I talk to the guys. And they're like, okay, see that hub over there? That hub powers, these 10 houses. Well, the dirty secret is that hub only provides like 400 to 500 amps to a house, and a house has needs of 100 to 200 amps. So when everyone gets an electric car, that system doesn't work at all. It's impossible because electric car is going to pull 50 amps. So like our grid is not set up for this transition without providing a massive overhaul period. Yep. And to stay away from the cleaner energy when we know we have to have more energy for what we're looking for in the future with this.
I mean, I do think that's just like the inherent contradiction, once again, of capitalism, where they're only looking at the very next dollar they're going to make, and there's no consideration of what happens down the future. I mean, at this point, I think they understand that they've destroyed our world, and that's why they want to make their rockets to Mars or whatever the hell, or bunkers. But it's going to be expensive for all of it. Who's going to serve them with what food? Like, what do you all of that. I am so filled with rage. Can you tell? Oh, I never even gave myself more wine. Mutagenius, that's why I love this idea, by the way. This is a good idea.
Yes. But that's why the data centers are like doubly important to stop, because our grid can't handle where we are going without the data centers at this point, because we are going to go to more electric cars, because especially as you push the price of oil up higher, more people are going to get the electric cars, which we should be getting. But that's a demand on our currently stressed system. And when you add in a data center to that, they're telling people to cut back.
Yeah.
And
Do your part for America, people.
yeah, it's going to be do your part for America and not get an electric car, buy more gas, pollute the air more so that the data centers can run.
Listen, do you believe in America, or are you a Bolshevik? I love Lambrusco. It's never a high enough alcohol content, but it's so good. I love Lambrusco. And Lori came from a wine testing, so she pre-gamed
Well
to be
done.
here. Nice. I like it.
Jealous.
Hello, everybody. And then there was another thing that, where is it? All right. Sorry. Trying to go back and see. I'm never going to be able to catch up. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. What about that? If we were actually doing anything, like investing in infrastructure is actually a good use of money, right? Clean the air in our schools, clean the air in all public buildings. How about high-speed rail, more parks? Like, I mean, all of those things, we would see returns from that. We're not going to see any return. The best return that we could see from data centers is the complete dissolution of any of our jobs and privacy and clean air and water.
When it finally works, we've lost so hard by the time data centers and AI actually take over. So like stopping it all is the most important thing to buy us time to fix this system.
Well, listen, now is not the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, in 2029, after we'll all be quiet for a few more years.
Be quiet, degrowth. I really want Jason Hinkle to come on. He's so amazing. I write him every once in a while just to see when he can. He's amazing. Yes, we are. I think we've made the transition. We are there. Okay. Let's keep going to the breaking points. Okay. So just to set this up, last week on, I think it was Friday, they did in their Ask Me Anything at the end of their Friday show, they responded to many of their subscribers had asked, why don't you ever have Socialist Shama Sawant on your show? And Ryan Grimm said there were two reasons that they have chosen not to. One is she is polling at such a low percentage, she's going to get blown out of the water by 50 points, which of course is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like, especially if she never gets on any big shows and nobody knows about her, then for sure. And then the other thing is because she's not doing anything new
Interesting
or different. Yeah.
Notable, right?
Because the pushback was, well, when you had Zoran Mamdani on, he was polling at like 1%. I think this was February of 2025. He was polling at 1%. And what Ryan Grimm countered with that was, well, no, but he was doing this thing of going out after Trump got elected and talking to voters who had voted for AOC, but also voted for Trump and asking them why. Well, I mean, I loved that, but like, okay. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that.
Yeah, but
by the way, since 2016, when Trump won and everybody was like, oh, all of a sudden, all these people turned racist because they voted for Trump, when I think 8 million people who had voted for Obama voted for Trump, right? And they decided, like, we're not going to scrutinize that at all or examine why that might be. Kansas, what's the matter with Kansas? All right. That's the best I can do with my brain, but is like, he stopped being invited to any, CNN or MSNBC shows, right? Like nobody wanted to actually examine why people might have made that switch, but people were talking about it. There have been other people talking about it. So to act like what Mamdani did was so revolutionary, but Shama Sawant's approach is
exactly
ridiculous.
What bothers me is he's sort of putting it on like, well, she needs a big old PR stunt. If she had a PR stunt, we'd get her on. But like, if you're a serious, outlet and you're all day, you're like, what, this system's broken. Here's the Democrats talk about it. Here's the Republicans talk about it. We're going to fight them. Well, if your system is broken, you got to get outside of the system a little bit. And so to not even engage with the strongest socialist in America.
Yeah.
Who, if you want transformational, like that's what she did to Seattle on her own.
As one socialist.
And she can speak to why we should, let her have a platform, challenge the fuck out of her. She will crush it. If you be the most aggressive interviewer on earth with her. But for you to have Adam Smith, her Democratic opponent, on, and yes, you shredded him well. I think she did a great job, but you didn't give the public an alternative. You didn't mention her name. You didn't mention the most transformative socialist in America on her show, who is her counter, who is why he came there to try to win over her voters, mostly. Like,
I mean, I have never seen them interview a candidate where they didn't talk about whom they were running against, ever, especially like in a primary. Not to bring that up at all was absolutely intentional.
Yeah, and then, I have a lot of followers, a lot like Hassan Piker, a lot of Piker fans, and like the Piker fans are out there defending them the most, which is really weird to me. And Piker also hasn't had her on, to my knowledge, right? So, they're out there saying, well, the other part of Grimm's argument was that the staff didn't even reach out to them. Well, okay, now she has clearly publicly on Twitter. So like that argument is gone, and that's done publicly for a reason, so that you can't keep saying she's not reaching out to you. So she has now reached out. You're on notice. It better be soon. This can't be some last day thing.
Yeah. I mean, we're 2 weeks
Do it
away.
now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Jen says that they're addressing it tomorrow. I think did you already have her on this week, or are you having her? I was gone until late on Monday, so I couldn't watch, but I don't know if you already had her on or not, but I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys say about that. Anyway, it was, I agree with you that Crystal did a pretty good job. And also he was horrific. The way his debate style was so embarrassing and bullying, and like he could not let her get a word in. She kept having to calmly and kindly be like, okay, let me just finish like talk to him like he's 2. But there were some things that I was she was on a Monday. I thought so. I need to still watch it. I've been gone a lot. And I can't wait to watch it. Revolutionary Change, just for anybody who doesn't know, Jen and Pete on Revolutionary Change. And yes, the mail-in ballots are already out. Yeah. So like the opportunities are passing. She got this big endorsement with the stranger, and it is such a disservice. There were so many missed opportunities, even though I thought Crystal did a really good job on the Israel stuff, but she let slide because she couldn't bring up Shama, but she let slide all of his harangues about like, listen, the left can say this, that, and the other thing, but that's all just yelling into the air. I need somebody who can get things done. Well, you know what? Shama puts
it's the complaining
to shame,
class.
Yeah, exactly. Shama puts to shame all of the Democrats who are like, well, we just, with Obama, he couldn't do the public option. He didn't have enough votes. He had a fucking super majority for a few months, a super majority, leader of the free world, immensely popular. And they're still going to say, we just need a few more Democrats. And she puts that trope to lie. No, you don't. You need the will of the people and to galvanize them and get everything in motion. That's what you need.
Yeah, and look, if Shama's wrong, we'll challenge her.
Yeah, of course.
This is the whole point. This is why I love Bree. Bree is great. Brianna Joy Gray. she's open to having the talk, and the talk is where people change their opinion, not like a political debate, but just like we're talking and discussing this. So if you can't challenge what Shama has to say, Crystal, Ryan, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're not a fucking leftist.
Maybe if you criticize the Green Party and Jill Stein and act as if she's the one who is a parasite or is somehow using her supporters, maybe you're not a leftist. Maybe if you think that Biden or even Kamala weren't that bad, right? I mean, if you're vote shaming people who can't vote for genocide, you're probably not a leftist. Yeah. Okay.
And look, like I said, they're getting a tremendous amount of pressure, which in my mind, I think will get her on. I'm just throwing that out there.
I do too.
But it'll be like I said, it'll be like a day or two before the election's over.
It'll be a day or two before the election. And I have to tell you, like, I don't really believe in jinxing something but I am a little concerned because I feel like it's been so pushed on them and they will prepare for it better than they've ever prepared for anything. And I have a feeling I don't think it will be done in good faith. And it makes me nervous, both because of the timing and also
they're going to want to show why they didn't have her on.
Exactly.
They're going to want to say like, look, and she lost by
not ready for prime time.
That's what they want.
Not ready.
Right.
Yeah. They're going to make it seem like, she won't come in a suit. She'll have her lighting that she does. She's not going to fly probably all the way across the country. So her lighting will be a little bit off and she won't be wearing like a pantsuit like Hillary. And there will be, it's a very Mean Girls or whatever, like the clique, the gatekeeping, all that kind of stuff, I think will likely enter. And I totally agree with you because the thing that I love the most about Brianna Joy Gray is that, and you know what? I love it about Glenn Greenwald also, even though I don't agree with him on a lot of things. He will talk with anybody about anything and he will listen and he'll fight back. And he is analytical. And I think, I haven't agreed with everything of his at all, but I also feel like I have not seen him be petty in the way or like gatekeeping in this type of way. Anyway.
No, it's true. And like to give out some credit to somebody who I don't really like much these days, but Ro Khanna will at least discuss his positions with anyone.
Yep.
Which makes him more authentic, even though I think he's largely full of shit. But he's willing to, right? And that, if you like, that tells me like there's some belief behind what he's doing, and he might have a strategy. I might disagree, but like he will open himself up to smaller platforms and have more. But look, they're not a small platform. Like they're the biggest. Hassan Piker's show and their show are the two biggest platforms a leftist can hope to get on and be treated reasonably.
Yeah.
And they pretend she doesn't exist. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's upsetting. Sorry. I just want to make sure we say thank you. H299. Thank you for your super sticker. Thank you. All right, here we go. We're going to watch. It's just a minute or two of it, but he's just so insufferable. Here is Adam Smith on Breaking Points.
I don't know how you can get away from how illiberal it is to not support equal rights for people, regardless of if they're Jewish, Arab, Muslim, Christian,
totally with you. Look,
and then the other piece is,
but Hamas doesn't support equal rights either.
But do you support a two-state solution? Is that your idea?
Look, yes.
So how do we get there?
No,
how do we get there? No, but this
no. Let's stop.
Hold on.
I can answer this.
How do we get there at a time?
No, hold on.
When you have settlements that have made it effectively impossible.
There's something I have to explain before all of this makes sense.
In order to create a Palestinian state.
Look, let's go back to what you said. I support a two-state solution. I am also aware of the fact that it's probably no longer possible. You didn't let me get that part out. Okay, which is really kind of important to this whole conversation.
I would agree. Yeah.
And it's very disappointing. I mean, and there's a lot of blame to go around for why we got there. Yes, I would like to see a two-state solution. I am not naive, as you just described, to know that it's simply not on the table at this point. And that creates a massive, massive problem. But the idea, again, that the easy solution is, okay, we get rid of the Jewish ethno-state, and the details of how Israel is currently running, their country, there are Arabs in the parliament, but there are parts of it that aren't. Okay, so we get rid of that.
Okay.
So what's your idea for what replaces that? You say you're not convinced that it would be a Hamas-run thing.
Well, I've offered that. Listen, I really honestly think that this is something for Palestinians and Israelis to decide. I don't know why it is the American taxpayers' business to fund this.
And again, that's why I voted for the Massey Amendment.
But what is actually your idea? Because if you're saying, you don't support a one-state solution, you don't support a two-state solution, there is no good solution. That's where you are. That is the reality of where we are now.
Right. And I'm
no good solution.
And I'm
did not let her finish a sentence. I have people in my life who debate like that. It is enraging. Like, let me finish a fucking sentence. And then he says, there's no good solution. I believe in a two-state solution, but that's not possible. Doesn't bring up a one-state solution. What's possible? Nothing? Oh, and what if it's Hamas? I don't know. What if you let everybody vote? Like, what are you so scared of that people can't vote? The only reason that there is so much animosity towards the Jewish state of Israel is because they are occupying and dominating their surrounding the land that they're on. And then what are their borders? They just keep invading and expanding. So like, yeah, everybody hates them. Hamas wasn't around when Jews first came back to their land.
But you just have to go back to his core argument there that he wanted to get this point out real quick. Like, stop. Before you say anything.
Yeah.
I support a plan that won't work. Hey, are we good? Are we good? It's not going to work. So the alternative is his version is like maybe we get some kinder Netanyahu, and it's a Netanyahu. It's a democratic strategy. It's Netanyahu. He's the problem. So the best we can do in the region is get somebody better than Netanyahu out there.
That's
what's his plan? Yeah. His plan is nothing. So like, we hate you. This is not. You shouldn't be a leader if you have no plan at all or any ascription to solutions. Like what?
Sorry, I'm just seeing this Palestinians land. I'm not sure what the question is, but there were Jews, Muslims, and Christians who were living in Palestine before the state of Israel was created. And I mean, I'm sure everything wasn't always peachy keen, but like they lived there pretty peacefully until it became a Zionist state. But I'm not sure exactly what the question is. And unfortunately, pretty much except for like 5%, that's the truth. It's like saying, oh, Trump ruined the Republican Party. Why can't we have good Republicans again? No, there's no good Republicans. And there's no good Democrats, pretty much. What are you talking about? They're all the same. They're the same.
Well, once we get rid of Netanyahu, Ben Gvir is going to be much more easily worked with and rational.
All of these people. Yeah. I mean, reflect the sun. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you.
20 slaps and tickles.
Thank you. So she pushed him on, is he going to sign she talked about the Section 219, didn't mention that he's the one who introduced it into the NDAA. Did not mention that, but okay.
Yeah, you should say what the 219 is, just so people know.
Yeah, it's basically the merging of, I think we probably all know, but the merging of U.S. and Israeli military that just passed the House today. He introduced it, but said, no, but now I'm not going to vote for it because of Netanyahu. Well, I mean, when you introduced it was just a few months ago. What the hell are you talking about? Like, what's changed? What changed in the last few months that makes it like now you can't vote for it? Number one. Number two, even as she was saying to him, that means that there will not be transparency over how we are working with Israel, what we're doing with the weapons. He was like, no. Like he kept jumping at everything. He's like, no. It's just going to be like 1 or 2 projects, maybe 3. And then he's like, maybe 4 or 5. He got up to 6 and then he just stopped talking. But like he couldn't even just be like, oh, it would have been better if he had said there's 6. But he was like, well, 1. And yes, exactly what happened. And this is why it's so, I'm sorry, but really unforgivable that she didn't even mention Shama. What happened? You introduced section, it was 224 when he introduced it. It's now section 219. You introduce something that you're not going to vote for, but you also know that it's going to pass because it's going to get all the Republicans except for Massey and, enough Democrats to make it pass. So it's really criminal not to have mentioned her in that moment and put him on the spot. It
is, especially because the left is really good at finding targets and going, bad guy. Okay, let's bully this fucker online because that's where we have our power, to be honest, right? We can expose this person. We can direct a lot of people's angst. We can say, hey, Palantir is a bad company. Oh, Flock is bad. Like, we can share all our collective social media and get it out to the world. We're good at messaging. We learned this from 2016 Bernie. We know how to amplify leftist propaganda. And so this guy needs to be a fucking target. He needs to be a guy that everybody goes, boom, get that guy, bad Democrat, responsible for all these wars, put this bill in front of people. He's pretending he's anti-Israel somewhat, but like you're trying to fuse our intelligence agencies.
It's traitorous.
Okay, so how do we stop this guy? That's what the left needs to know. And you stop him with Shama Sawant. And you grow a socialist anti-fucking establishment fucking force with her because she's successful. She's the number 1 successful socialist in fucking America.
And it also, like, you have to know that non-voters are the biggest voting bloc, right? Like, more than half of voting age people do not vote. They have felt so disenfranchised. So what you want to do is make people realize there's another option. Then we just need one more. We just need one more Democrat. We just need one more. Oh, when Obama was there, they had 60 for a while. We just need 10 more Democrats. No, actually, we need more than that because there's always like that. What that does is it just suppresses anybody's urgency or excitement to vote. People have given up on the system. And when you hear Shama talk about, it's not all electoral politics, but you need some people there because that's we have a system of government, right? So like you need some targets in there or people who are going to energize and have movement politics. And then you're not waiting around for another election cycle, this is the way to make things happen. This is change. This is hopeful, right? That would be exciting for people to hear about.
Amen. And if your show isn't just Tucker Carlson's old show that was on fucking CNN or whatever, where he would have the left and the right on and they would all debate things. If you're really outside of the system and trying to solve things, you look beyond, hey, left, send some people, hey, right, send some people, let's have a debate. And, you challenge them, sure. But you're staying within the system the entire time when you don't even present the options outside of the system who are viable and trying to enter into the system. They're just not Democrats and Republicans.
Yep.
But she's working within the system. She's not a protester. She's a fucking politician running for office, you fuck.
I mean, that's manufacturing consent, right? That's exactly what Noam Chomsky always talked about. It's like you create a very small spectrum of options, and then you act as if they are worlds apart and pit them against each other, and people feel like they're hashing it out. But in the end, it's just going to be the same people, right? And just as a reminder, like he introduced this thing that he voted against. So right away, that that's just a cynical play, but also it's so damaging. just as a reminder, Section 224 of the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act, the House version, the United States-Israel Futures Act, did not advance as a standalone bill. Key elements of the act, including the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, were subsequently introduced by Representatives Mike Rogers and Adam Smith as Section 224 of the House of Representatives version of the 2027 NDAA. So, and according to an analysis by the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, the initiative would arguably do more to intertwine the U.S. military with the Israeli military than the more than $200 billion in military assistance Israel has received from the U.S. since its founding in 1948. So he introduced that. Why? And why is he stepping away from it now? And isn't that a cynical ploy because he knows it's going to pass? And what made him change his mind about Netanyahu's government since whatever date that was when he first introduced it a few months ago? 2.5 years into a genocide.
Yeah. I mean, I will tell you directly with no sugarcoating, he introduced it because he was in a safe seat. And Shama made it
Yeah.
Shama made it unsafe now. And if Shama got the press that she deserves and has earned through actual, she's not some like hey, this local lefty's loud and there might be some hype around her. She held office. She accomplished big shit. She fought fucking Amazon. Right? So if you're a leftist and you're covering protests and rallies and you're not covering the actual person working within the political system you're upholding who changed things and stopped fucking Amazon in Seattle, you're why she's not getting hype. So, I mean, do better is the best we can hope for, but like your credit is gone. Whatever your mission was.
So sad because I know what they're going to do. They're going to act like they're making some big concession. They're going to wait to the last minute, bring Shama on, and then they'll pull out shitty things from her past. They'll find something because you can find something on anybody. And then they'll have the Connie Commodore on there, they're sort of lefty on the show people, and make it seem like it is like a nicer. Honestly, I'd rather have Sagar interview her.
I kind of agree with you, but I think they'll be a little smarter about it. It'll be a little more subtle. The delay will be the biggest factor that doesn't help her campaign because they waited too long to stop the energy and momentum, but if you did that interview today, we got 2 weeks, maybe 3, 2 weeks, 4th, I think. Momentum can grow, but like if you wait to the last second and it's already and them saying like, oh, she hasn't spent money on polling, like we can't take her serious. Like that's a really fucking pathetic thing for someone in covering politics to say.
Yeah. And I mean, as Jen's now brought up a second time, I mean, this is the truth, is like, she's been around for enough time. I mean, certainly Ryan's known who she was because she called him out on him trying to give cover to AOC about crushing the rail workers strike. Right. So like, that's it. Yeah. Once the mail-in ballots are out, it's pretty much game over. And yes, Brianna Grace had her on several times. Yeah.
This is on the cusp of Ryan Grimm protecting Ro Khanna, which is really gross. Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I know we covered it, and now I can't remember what did he cover him for? Oh, saying that that Israel had a right to respond to the terrorist attack of Hamas.
Right. And it was the guy, what's his name? Jesus Christ. Who was the good journalist from?
Oh, Scahill. Yeah.
Jonathan Scahill.
No.
Who was doing
Jeremy
great.
Scahill. Yeah.
Jeremy Scahill.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, my brain. Wait, and sorry, but I don't even know I'm not picking on you, NorCal. I just don't know. It's hard because there's so many comments, and then but I'm not sure exactly which thing you're talking about. And yes, that was hilarious. He's just like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, and Jen brings up a good point. So they also, like California, have a jungle primary. So two people need to get through. So, you know, it's not like you got she has a chance regardless of how low she's polling right now. But we don't have polling showing she's doing poorly anyway. And she does have a movement of people volunteering that is way over the Democratic Party people and way over Adam Schiff. Jesus Christ, Adam Smith. He's got like 10 people that authentically like him. So it's just party people.
Right. Yeah.
Where she has thousands of volunteers.
And also, nobody gives a fuck if anybody likes somebody. Is she going to fight for what I want? Like, I don't care. You know, they're going to say the thing. I saw today some people saying like, well, Shama shouldn't shit all over all the, you know, like all over other Democrats. She's offending people. You know who she's not offending? The working class people who need her in office, who she is fighting for. And again, like, I'm not trying to be like, you know, one person is a messiah. That's not what I mean. But like her philosophy on how to affect change is a dynamic shifting philosophy that works. And that is exciting. It would galvanize people. It would energize people. People are in an energized mood. They want to feel like hitting the streets is doing something. So, you know. Yeah,
and her theory of change is you don't build a coalition within the party that's trying to stop the coalition outside. You build a coalition outside and you shame and blame and name all the people in the system blocking it, and you make their life fucking hell as one person as best you can, and you get the changes. You don't say, I'll vote for this if you give me fucking a little crumb over here.
Yeah.
Which is the best the squad could possibly do if they're even trying.
What have we gotten? Like one thing. What have we gotten? I don't know. I don't know if he's had her on. I don't know. I need to look that up. That is interesting. I'll be very sad. Because I do sometimes really like him a lot. And yeah, not there to make friends, like whatever. I mean, but by the way, she's like perfectly civil and kind when you talk to her, like lovely, but also she has an ideology and convictions that she sticks to. And it's about centering the working class. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't need to be friends with the people you work with. A lot of people aren't friends with people we work with, especially when they're fucking genocidal maniacs who are fine not ensuring that we have a system in this country where we have thriving wages and healthcare and schools and aren't burdened by debt and have clean air and water. You cannot say that about our Congress, our politicians. How are they anybody's friends? They're horrible people.
Say what you want about her, but like, she is a worker. She goes on a million podcasts. She's on our little fucking podcast, right? I'm in Sacramento. We got a healthcare bill at the Capitol. She's here from Seattle to speak at the Capitol for a healthcare bill for California. I mean, she is out there working. That's what people want. They don't give a shit. They want you to be unkind to the fucking Democrats.
Yeah. Who gave us Trump twice and a genocide and the Heritage Foundation health insurance plan. Like, what are we talking about? Why would you want to be friends with any of these people who sent 800,000 people to their deaths under Biden with telling, like, rip the mask off. It's all fine. These aren't your friends. They're awful people. Audra, I think you've even been a member for longer than 23 months, but love that. And yeah, of course she has working class solidarity. And they tried, of course, to say, you know, oh, you know, she's not good with Black people. I mean, they're doing all the same things, right? Doesn't have Black support, doesn't have, you know, all of these different things. It's the same playbook every single time. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Tone policing, civility, be nice. We'd like Bernie, but he's so gruff. Just so gruff.
And by the way, the California thing that she was at, just when you talk about coalitions and whatever, it was largely Green Party event as well. So like, she's not like, fuck the Green Party, fuck the this, fuck the, she's issue. She was there for an issue. Butch Ware was there speaking as well. Like so that's what we want. That's the coalition we want. The coalition isn't like, Democratic donors are in her circle. Like that's
she
not
really
it.
needs to go to the Hamptons with the Clintons and the Pelosi's and the Trumps. Yeah, that's not her goal. Shamo was born in India, I think. So no, she cannot be president, unfortunately. And yeah, they're just so gross.
Well, she should come down and be mayor of Sacramento at least. That would be nice.
We all need like a lot of her energy to spread. Like, it's amazing and sad that it is so difficult to find a few people that you might want actually to support. Yes, survived a recall vote. I mean, yeah, she's great. She's great. Okay, should we spin? Of course. I just want to make sure I'm seeing everybody's stuff a little bit. Okay, all right. Pat, I think let me just tell you what I think is so. Oh, I was just about to call you out on that. And by the way, yeah,
I was just guessing on the right button downstairs because you always do that.
Yeah, but it's the one that says
right.
real. It's the one that
I'm not a reader. Me and Trump don't read. We feel things.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing that's always so funny. Like, oh, sexist, racist, whatever they're going to throw at her. I am sure Adam Smith is a million times worse. And then we're going to have to also look at what they're doing to Tallarico, who is actually not, I mean, whatever, fine. But like, come on. Oh my God. All right, here we go. That's what we need. We need a lull. Bring the lulls, Pat.
Let's just roll with space skits.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No! Please, no! No!
Okay, everyone, as you know, we've been falling on hard times and some decisions had to be made.
Are our jobs safe?
Yeah, what's gonna happen to us? All those questions are gonna be answered by an expert. Sparkles, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Sparkles from Candyland. Unfortunately, you will all be laid off and your boss will be getting a raise. Have a sweet day.
The f*** was that? Wow, that is tough news to swallow. For all of us. But thanks for breaking it down for us, Sparkles. Is that like an AI bot?
Did it just say we're getting laid off?
She is a bunny that was raised in Candyland by the Gumdrop tribe. And what was the other question?
Are we all unemployed?
You want to take that one, Sparkles?
You are all out of a job, except for the boss man here.
Why do you get to keep your job and get a raise?
That feels really unfair.
1 second.
Because the boss man is dope and more handsome than he gets credit for.
Oh, Sparkles, you're gonna make me blush. No lies detected, though. How am I gonna pay for my kid's private school?
Yeah, or rent.
You're right. Sparkles, this is harsh and borderline cruel. These people have livelihoods to think of. Are you sure you can't do anything about this?
No, it's a done deal. The Candyland Emperor has made her decision.
Damn, really had to pull out your credentials like that, huh? Well, at least I fought for us. You're the one that programmed this dumb AI bot to say these things. AI? More like A. I'd watch my tone. Just because I designed her and gave her a backstory doesn't mean she's not real.
It kind of literally means that.
Oh, so you're telling me that my hot new girlfriend who's an astronaut slash model slash cheerleader slash celestial princess isn't real? Yes, exactly. Just because your dating standards are lower than mine doesn't mean you have to rag on my relationship. What does that mean? I'm just saying, we've all seen your wife. What is it? Cat's out of the bag on that one. Hold on, my girl just sent me the funniest text about all this. I've been chatting with her all day. Guess we're just cute like that, I don't know. So are there any more questions? Sparkles?
Pack up your desks immediately, peasants. Enjoy the shortbread lines.
You heard the bunny.
Little too real. It reminds me of Survivor back in the day. Remember with Jack Lemmon and Robin Williams? And he has a mental breakdown and arms himself and all this stuff because he gets fired by a parrot that they train to fire people. They train a parrot.
Survivor? I don't
Survivor, and they bring in the employees in the beginning of the movie to sit them down in front of a parrot that says you're fired. It's the same concept.
That's really funny. I don't think I saw that. I'm not.
It's
sure
really good. He joins a militia, and it's kind of. I don't know. They filmed it in Tahoe, and there's a spot in the film where I used to fly fish, like literally right there. So
that's
I'm nostalgic about it.
I like that. Yeah, Robin Williams was amazing. What a talent. What a talent. Bendejo, we are going to get to this. I mean, we're just going to kind of touch on it a little bit, but Zoran can't arrest Netanyahu, nor would he if he could, but it's nice to see him raise the possibility. It's better if Yahoo comes to underscore how useless the UN is. I mean, it really does feel like all of our international bodies are completely useless as genocide continues and expands. Thank you for your super chat. I do like Mud of Genius's suggestion, though, just to tell your police to stand down. Tell the police force to stand down.
Okay.
And see what happens. There are a lot of people in New York who might get.
Oh, you mean seriously get a campaign to get them
just
to
be
just
like,
not?
Nobody's protecting you. You don't get any entourage, no protection. We are not. That is not going to be funded by our city. Yeah.
I mean, the funniest thing that could happen is it happens in New York. That would be amazing.
It'd be a very Luigi vibe. Yeah, I mean, that's true. They are. They are written clearly to defend power. But Robin Williams would have been turned 75 yesterday. I didn't know that. His daughter Zelda worked with Josh on a project, and she was lovely, so kind, and he was awesome.
He was. I have a friend who wasn't even an actor or anything, but he was an extra in Mrs. Doubtfire. He's a waiter. He was a waiter, served him in the dining room, so I always have that. I'm like, I know Steve. Yeah. Steve, my buddy Steve's in there.
I love that movie. I love it. Okay. Oh, and also, Josie, I did see this. I love that. Yeah, do something like that. Swing your dick around a little bit, Mamdani. Like, have him yanked out of wherever he goes. It's all going to be registered with, the authorities because he's a dignitary, whatever the hell. And also, it's as long as we're sort of on this, Craig Murray said that he is not head of state, he's head of government. So actually, whatever rules that they are talking about don't apply to him. They would apply to Herzog, not to Netanyahu, but Trump already decreed Benjamin Netanyahu will not be arrested in any way, shape, or form while in the United States of America. He is fighting against the Islamic Republic of Iran. I thought he wasn't. What are you talking about? They said they're not sending any of their people over, and this is the best situation because they're not dying. It's Americans who are dying for an Israeli cause. We have nothing to fear about Iran apart from the fact that they are going to charge us, eventually when all of this is resolved, we will have to be paying fees to go through the Strait of Hormuz. But there is no actual threat from Iran to the US. So anyway, it was recently killed. We are now up to 52,000 innocent protesters. There has been absolutely no evidence of any of this. It started at they killed 30,000, then it was 40,000. And meanwhile, a few weeks before, there were also protests, but it was before Mossad got its people in place and before our armed, I don't know, it feels like possibly Kurds came, that all the killings happened. But people are, it's horrible. No killings should happen at protests ever anyway, but it was more like 3,000. And then they said, oh no, it's 30,000, then 40, now it's 52. Okay. Has spent the last 47 years killing American soldiers. Where are those American soldiers? Just hanging out? Stateside?
I know.
Yeah. The only ones that should be arrested are the people that led Iran into this unprecedented spiral of death and destruction. We've got an overthrown leader to tell you about who is democratically elected socialist in Iran. But anyway, into this unprecedented spiral of death and destruction, something that should have been dealt with years ago by previous presidents, President Donald J. Trump. Democrats, I will tell you that the Pied Piper plan worked on some level because He truly
They didn't care.
Yeah, and because he is truly just so grotesque. Like, there is not a moment where he isn't grotesque. Like, you could never, ever get away from it, even for a second. He doesn't do anything that even pretends to show, like...
No, there's no empathy for humanity, like not even a drop of it. I mean, if things calm down, he will keep it at 10 at all times by like releasing a new president coin, or, you know, like it's like, oh, no one's mad at me right now for something. I can make another $2 billion if I do some bullshit. And my followers are the dumbest fucks on earth. So there's that.
Yeah. I'm looking at everybody's comments. I mean, it is just so upsetting and frustrating. And obviously, I know, like, I get it. People for millennia have been, you know, decimated by the people in power. And I don't know why I expect that, like, our voices should matter, but it is really just so upsetting. Okay. Wait, what were we just talking about? The arrest? I don't even know where we are right now. I'm so annoyed. Yeah. Well,
look, I'm not saying Mamdani's going to do something, because I don't think he will, but I think he's striving to do shit. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some play, some embarrassment, something is going to happen that's going to make it unsavory for him when he does visit, because he will visit.
Oh yeah, he will. I mean, it's been delayed now. It was supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, I think that his speech, which we have and we can show if you didn't see, I thought it was really well said and very strong. And obviously, we all want him to arrest Netanyahu or stand back and stand down and allow whatever to happen or whatever it is. But, you know, he obviously also has to go. He's going to go by the book and ask legal, you know, his legal advisors. And I will say that the response from Zionists, they were unhinged. Like, who does he think he is? The mayor, and like, they were furious that he would even say anything. All these people who say, oh, it's just Netanyahu's government, and then they freak out when he talks about Netanyahu, right? Like, I mean, it's just amazing, right? I mean, they always reveal themselves.
I agree. And I think there's a lot of value in that, even if it's not doing something, because with it being outside of his traditional role, it's sort of like, well, this is what happens when regular people get power. Like, we can at least raise hell as much as we can within the system.
Yeah.
And like, we have a voice, you know, like even if we can't change what's happening, like, he can use his voice as the mayor that has nothing to do with international politics to shit on this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's value in it. Even if, like I said, he arrested would be number
10.
3, 10. I don't know.
I mean, for me, 10. If there's only 10, it's 10. If I can,
should we start doing top 10 lists? Because I could write some top 10.
I like that. Maybe that can be a wheel segment. And yeah, like, as you know, as Kimiko is saying, like, if we're gonna start arresting war criminals, which I'm all for, and sending them to The Hague, we got to get Blinken, we got to get Biden, we got to get Obama, we got to get George W. You know, I mean, you got to get all of this. And I do think, okay, I'm reading some of your responses that are very funny, but I'm not going to put them up right now because I don't want us to get blacked out yet. Yes. Oh, and he did just hire Lena Khan for economic development, which is amazing. Like, I do, I think he's doing some really good things, which also, by the way, going back to the part in the Adam Smith thing where he's talking about the left and how they never do anything. Yeah. And Jake Sullivan, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry. Yeah. Where he's like, they never do anything. They're just screaming, but I need somebody to get something done. Okay, fine. There's Shama Swant for sure. There's Mamdani, who's actually getting quite a bit done. Like, I feel like part of the problem was he was such a repellent debater and a guest, like would not let her get a sentence out. But there was a lot that he said that, what happens is because she pushed back on some things and wasn't given the space to push back on everything that could have been pushed back on, whether she would have or not, I don't know. But what it makes it seem is those other things that he said that she didn't push back on were possibly valid, and that none of it was valid. I don't know. It's kind of a lose-lose. Anyway. All right.
Well, I don't want to knock them for the interview with him, because I think on the whole, he comes out looking like a loser.
Oh my God. Yeah,
right. So, so that part is important, but
yeah.
Do you want to change the country or not? Does your platform exist to sort of do the ESPN team sports stuff? Is that what you're doing with your platform?
Right.
Or do you care?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, we are in like the end times. Things are horrific right now, and there's no course to get them better by anybody who's in power right now in our Congress, right? So, like, why not show that there's a different way?
Yeah, and challenge that way. If you disagree, challenge it.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
What's your platform for if you're not going to challenge it? If you're not going to even have them there to be in the conversation, and you consciously excluded them from the conversation, which already tells everybody on the real left that you picked a side on this thing, and it's the establishment side.
Yeah. Somebody posted this today, and I'm sorry because I don't remember, but he talked about, because he was one of the people who was calling for Biden to step down, even though, I mean, he agrees with all of his policies. It wasn't anything like that. He just thought he's too old. But this was in 2024. And, for all of the normie Dems who tried to make us seem like tinfoil hat wearers when we were like, oh no, the Democratic establishment kneecapped Bernie intentionally. And he just said it out loud.
Joe Biden was not picked in 2020 because he was the only person who could beat Trump. He was picked because he was the only person that could beat Bernie Sanders, rightly or wrongly. And by the way, for the Sanders fans out there, I'm not judging, but that conclusion was made. Okay. Oh my gosh. Coming out of Nevada, Bernie Sanders is going to be the nominee. And people, just like they are now, back then said, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So they were looking for an alternative. And tip of the hat to Joe Biden, he had the record. 8 great years as vice president, 30 whatever years as a very able United States. He was the right person at that time. And that's great. He's not the right person now.
Yeah, but people didn't think, that's not going to work. Democratic Party thought, that's not going to work for us.
Yeah. They wanted to be
Bernie.
That
was it.
That was all.
It was just, yes.
They didn't care.
I mean, it wasn't that Bernie couldn't win against the Republicans. The public didn't think that.
Yeah.
The establishment convinced them of that.
Which is what they're trying to do about Shama.
Which is exactly the connection to breaking points.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Okay. So this is Mamdani talking about Benjamin Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live, for the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them, for the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing. There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity. Anyone, with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
I mean, listen, I feel like he's one man who's trying to do a lot of things. I'm not making excuses. I know he said he was going to arrest him. This before he got in power. He's got all of these people he has to answer to. If he gives an illegal order to his police force, what happens? Like, I don't know, right? So like, I'm not trying to make any excuses, but I will also say that there's no other person who is elected to office who has spoken to the general public like that about Netanyahu.
Yeah. Look, I've been like middling Mamdani from the start, and he's delivering. So like this claim that he can't, that he's a sellout for not arresting him, or that piece of it, like, no.
You're right.
He's the loudest voice against him nationally.
Yeah. I mean,
as a Democrat at least. So I just, we got to live in the real world a little bit. Like, I'm not going to use that to excuse him changing positions or whatever, but like he won't be mayor if he arrests him. He'll be in jail. So
yeah, I agree. And again, I don't want to excuse things. Like, I wish he hadn't kept Jessica Tisch on, but also I don't know what happens with that, with these cops. And like, we all know the history of this country and what happens if you, I don't know. Like, what would happen if you got rid of Tisch? Not that like she's so popular, but like, what signal would that have been to the police force? I mean, I don't know. I mean, okay, I would have also liked that. I don't know. I want anything.
Look, there's still the possibility that there's something notable that happens, right? I mean, you could counter his time there with stuff on the public airways. If you're
yeah, he should do one of those. He should sit down every day and do a speech to the country about Netanyahu. Sorry.
Yeah. Or here's what you do: a fundraiser. Like, here's a fundraiser for New York to get these policies. If you want Netanyahu out, let's build our city up, and then every dollar goes to something. You know, like, milk it. Get some good shit for your citizens that is against Netanyahu being there and shows the public that we don't support him. And look, I delivered another thing for my fucking state or city. You know,
I agree. I agree. Yeah. What good is he in jail or, you know, not in office anymore? I don't think he is a coward. I agree. I think he spoke big when he was running, and I feel like, he's already delivered more than like AOC in 8 years or whatever the hell. And I know it's different because she's in Congress and he's mayor and all that kind of stuff. But like, I do think silver lining is that he spoke out loud about Netanyahu in a way that we do not normally hear from any mayor, certainly, right? Speaking like that, he has an enormous international audience. That video of his is the most watched video of Mamdani's ever. And it's also enraging the Zionists. So, and
he's
also,
he's
shown distress.
Whatever you think of him, he's not the guy to attack. I mean, the left isn't putting all their faith in him. He's the mayor. He's not going beyond, maybe a senator after this or something, maybe a Supreme Court justice or, but that's his peak. He can't be president. Maybe he could be vice president, but
I don't think so.
I think you can.
I don't think so, because you can't be vice president if you've already.
But then they can skip your.
Oh, and just go to the. Really? Is that really true?
Maybe I'm just making this shit up. That's always a possibility. That is always a possibility. But he's not the guy to. Look, I'm not going to tell people to shut up when you criticize him.
Yeah.
Just write anyone, right? Yeah. But our energies aren't behind him because he's going to lead us. It's just, there's a great example of somebody who actually gives a shit, and you can see he gives a shit, and he's still fighting for this shit, and he's not caving to Democrats. I
mean, I agree. I really do. I agree. It's just sad. Okay, so here's the other thing that's happening with Tallarico down in Texas. Again, we showed some of his stuff versus Jasmine Crockett's. I think he's preferable to Jasmine Crockett. I don't think he would be any of our first choices, but that's where we are. He is the Democratic nominee, and Crockett already said she wasn't sure if she was going to endorse. And he is really a Democrat. He's not a DSA person. He's a real Democrat, whatever. Not sure she's going to endorse him, but flew here to endorse Becerra. But now there is this concerted effort to drum up, he's a white boy and he's having a problem with his black voter. So there was a town hall a couple days ago that got fairly contentious. Also because apparently some of his supporters have been mean to other people online. So that was one of the points that was brought up against him.
What are you going to do to rebuke and admonish your supporters and surrogates who sit up online all day, angry, attacking, it went beyond Congresswoman Crockett.
Beyond.
What are you going to do to rebuke the likes of Keith Edwards, Roe DNC, and David Piper, the voice actor, who harasses and threatens black politicos who politicians in this area depend on to promote voting education and voting mobilization. But when they're harassing us simply because we are active voters who want our candidate to be held accountable because he tells us to hold him accountable.
Okay, so that was one woman. Here's another person.
Stay here, you answer our questions, or you suffer the consequences.
So I'm happy to engage. We'll come to here in just a second. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you traveling in, and I appreciate
I did
you.
it for my people, not for you.
Wonderful, and I think that's wonderful. And it's all right. This is what this conversation is supposed to be about. Yeah.
So I still can't even tell what the real issue here is, except that I think some of these people really wanted Crockett. This was a town hall. The woman who we just showed, who said, "I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for my people." This was her postscript, her video that she put out.
But for us real black folks, everyday black people, we're going to sit this shit out. We're going to undervote your ass, James Tallarico. because I know civics. You talking all that fly ass shit, I know civics. And what I know for a goddamn fact is we've survived Ken Paxton as the AG. Moving that motherfucker down the road to the Senate decreases his ability to terrorize and torture black Texas voters and Texas children. So a win is a motherfucking win. But what I will not have you do is try to instill your great white hope in my motherfucking people and watch you let us down. I'm not fixing to let your white moderates win. Because in 2028, we need to elect a new motherfucking president. And if you white moderates and you lowly ass fucking candidates like James Tallarico keep pulling your shit, we're gonna end up with another fucking Trump. And that is something my people can't tolerate. So you gonna get this motherfucking lesson now. You're gonna get it. And your white moderates are gonna get it too. So maybe when 2028 rolls around, you will know, black Texas voters, we ain't fucking playing with you. Yeah, that white boy should have stayed where the fuck he was. Because you came here thinking you was dealing with colored people and you met real niggas only. And speaking of colored people, for you ashy motherfuckers, you bus stop bitches, in the background of the video that said that I'm rude for handling his ass the way he should be handled, I don't have time to be pleasant. I'm a black woman in Texas. And these motherfuckers is coming for our lives. So I'm gonna fight fire with fire. You sit back, shut the fuck up, and benefit.
That is wild.
I went through her whole timeline and everything. I don't know what her issue is with him. Unless it's just what she says at the beginning, where she thinks that Paxton is less dangerous in the Senate than
the issue is that Crockett didn't win, and she was so progressive. Like, say what you want about Crockett or him, but like Crockett was way to the right of him by all standards. Yes. So like this is some made up fucking shit. I'm not saying she doesn't believe it. I don't know. I can't know who believes what, but it's the same K-Hive Democratic energy.
It's 100%
to attack anyone left of you under the guise of color.
Yes.
And everybody, like we all see this, like she's saying we're going to sit this one out and elect a Republican instead of the progressive, and saying it's because she won't have any more fucking white moderates.
Yeah.
Like, follow the logic trail. There is none.
And again, like I could not find what her true issue was. Number one. Number two, it really feels just like spiteful that it's just like K-Hive stuff. And also like, I don't understand the thing of like Paxton's going to do more damage if he remains attorney general, which I mean, of course he's done a ton of damage. He's a repulsive, horrific human being, but also like in the Senate, he can continue to do even bigger damage that will, spread out to all 50 states. Right. So like, I don't really understand that. And I feel like they're clearly trying to split the vote. I mean, I think an enormous percentage of black voters in Texas will end up voting for Tallarico because they vote Democrat. He's, I think, a much better option on the policies that he at least says he believes in than, the AIPAC AI funded Jasmine Crockett.
Look, I'm not going to back him, but we both agree on that. He's on paper, he is a progressive.
Yeah.
Right? Within the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And on paper, he's a progressive that could win in purple Texas or red Texas, pretty much. He can win. And so for Democrats that have been begging for a win for 30 years in Texas to just say, we're gonna sit this one out. Like I just
it's a little crazy.
It feels astroturfed. It feels fucking K-Hive.
Yes.
Crockett herself is K-Hive 2.0. Like her campaign proved it.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, the other thing is like, because I see some of your comments. I do love that energy if it feels like it's based in some sort of true ideology and rational thought. Like I would never vote for Kamala or Biden, right? Like I don't vote for genocide. Like not going to happen. So like I understand having purity tests. We all do. On some level, we all have purity tests, right? But like
we don't even get the criticism of him. We don't get the criticism of his policy. We don't get the why to it. We just get white moderate. Like
right.
And
which
you know, and your
I agree.
And your supporters your supporters online said things like that's not a you know, you're in front of him to his face and he's being civil and, you know, I mean, so how much can you apologize for what people online say? And we know online, you know, from the Bernie era, there were people trying to act like Bernie supporters that said the most racist, evil shit. And it's astroturf. It's like to make Bernie look bad. And then the party can go, do you condemn Joe 3789 on Twitter? You know, like
Bernie Bros.
Okay.
And then when they did the actual analysis, Hillary Clinton supporters were way worse than Bernie Bros. Like just by the number of, you know, and like all the David Brock, is that his name? Who did the correct record? Yeah, all of that. We're not blocking anything. I don't know. I didn't we didn't block anything.
We don't
block. I don't know why that's happening. We didn't block anything, but I'm sorry that happened. Yeah. Anyway, I just think that it's just getting really, really ugly. And it does feel astroturf because they're doing this now to, you know, I don't really know much about Troy Jackson. It looks like, I think he just got either enough endorsements or he is actually going to be the Democratic nominee now for Senate, taking over for Plattner. He used to be a Republican, but I guess he is very progressive now and working class and yada yada. He did throw a water bottle once when he was angry, and they're definitely making a lot about that. That's our new thing. Like,
do we have footage? Dang it! I thought we had footage.
Well, we don't have footage of him doing it. We have them talking about it on stand-up. But like, it doesn't even like. I don't like. Of course, they're going to do this. You know. The other thing about the.
Look,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, if no one's harmed by throwing a water bottle, I support throwing the water bottle. We are angry. I don't know. You know.
And he did, and it like specified.
I don't know the story.
CNN, yeah, they were like, he didn't throw it at the person. He threw it because he was mad.
I want people mad, you know.
I mean,
we all do. So if that's what you got on him, I already like him.
I like him more because he feels very milquetoasty to me. So like,
I don't particularly like the guy from what I've seen. He's not a Plattner replacement policy wise at all. He's a guy who's like, well, no, he's leaning into.
No, I don't know. I'm not.
Don't quote me on it, but like I've heard a lot of criticisms of him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, make your own judgment. I don't quote me on this at all. I'm not following
he just has no like viv, you know, he's like very
no sizzle.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like throwing the water bottle is the most exciting.
Could have been the best. I was gonna say that's all. He sounds all right to me from that. That's spread that if you're his campaign, get it out there.
Yeah,
tell him he threw it at the Democratic Party. Like he threw it at Susan Collins.
That would put him right over. I mean, it's just so disgraceful. They said nothing about a genocide. Okay, good. I'm glad that that's cleared up because we would never do that, Myra. We don't block people's.
No, the only thing we'll occasionally in the chat we'll have some crazy racist or something and block them, but like comment by comment, we've never ever said that one comment
my God, never
needs to go or something like that.
Okay, let's Sisamadejo, you're always pushing our buttons. I don't know that that's going to happen, but thank you for your super chat. I don't know. We'll see. Was the Communist Party of the U.S. on Rubio's blacklist until it makes it there? I'm going to believe
sponsored Communist Party of the U.S.
I'm joking, but thank you for your super chat. And I know you said this.
Caleb is a hard no for me.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Lila, but he's a hard no.
But the delete laws, I know you sent us stuff, and I've had just like a crazy last 5 days, so I haven't gotten a chance, but I will look at his videos and thank you. And we always appreciate the suggestions and all that. We really do. We are different from other podcasts in that as much as we rail against things, we don't usually bring people on that we want to have cantankerous arguments with. Like, it's just not our vibe, really. And we try, honestly, like mostly, even recently we've talked about breaking points, because that does feel now like punching up more, right? Because like they've got a huge platform and all that kind of stuff. But like, we don't usually really, or at least we don't call out by name any other podcasters or people who are like in our level, or certainly nobody who, we would never punch down. But yeah. So I'm not going to say anything, but like, it's not really interesting to me to have somebody on if I have major disagreements just to like hash it out. I have enough of that in my real life, and we're just surrounded by shitty people.
You've got a more tact than me. I would mostly just insult the person to death if I hated them. And
this though, sorry. Oh, thanks, Kitty. That's so nice. I clicked on it before reading it because the page shifted, but thank you. We love our pet family. Thank you. And I would love that.
Piers wanted to come on.
Oh
I mean,
God.
I'll have a confrontational interview with anybody, up, like punching up. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't want to start podcast beefs and shit.
No, it's not.
Like, we skipped that years ago.
Yeah. We that was part of our mission statement together when we were figuring out our show. I did just see though a clip of Mearsheimer on with Piers Morgan saying like Iran's not a threat, and it's like the brain fell out of Piers Morgan's mouth, right? Like he was just like, it's not a threat, and then he just repeats, everything that Trump says. I killed 40,000 people. What is it now? 52,000 people in the protests, and for 47 years and all that. And Mearsheimer and Jeffrey Sachs are my two favorite ones to listen to when they're analyzing all this. It just feels very data and history driven, and I really appreciate that,
And our guest tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, we have
Steven Semler tomorrow. Love Steven Semler so much.
One of our most repeated guests. Yeah. Love him. He come on. He does a lot of work on, as you all know, I'm sure, analyzing data, expenditures, where the money is going, and always has really brilliant analysis. I'm very, very excited to see that. Love Wilkinson, and Matt Ho is fantastic. I love Matt Ho. Matt Ho is such a good example, like Greg Stoker and Anthony Aguilar, although obviously Anthony Aguilar's arc has happened more recently. And I saw somebody asking, and I'm sorry, but he is no longer with the Green Party. I think he is still running though.
He's running, yeah.
But Matt Ho talking about his experience in the military and moral injury and having to rectify that in his head and make peace on some level in order to be able to do the work towards trying to forge peace in the world. Like he's become a peace activist for the last 20 years or something, resigned under Obama, right? Like I love that also because it gives him, so few people spoke out against Obama he still remains the most popular Democrat in the country. I think politician, which is just mind-boggling. But yeah,
he's the real Platter, basically.
The real
Ho in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He's the arc that Plattner should have taken if he was who he said he was.
Yeah. Okay. Larry Johnson, I watch him a lot, but he's definitely way further to the right than I am. But I really do appreciate his analysis of military stuff. But every once in a while, there'll be like a thing about like climate, whatever, or
it is interesting. There are some people on the right that are good on intelligence stuff. And
their analysis.
We just would disagree on a lot of other areas, but that exists. And they're good faith people is the thing. Like I would talk to a good faith person from the right. I think, that's not beyond me.
I mean,
but
sure. And Greg Stoker's amazing. And yes, there are so many people who won't even come to terms with the fact that Obama's a war criminal. They cannot wrap their head around it. Like, you bomb a hospital, rip people to shreds, you drone civilians, you kill Americans abroad. That's war crimes. And when Trump does it, we all say it's war crimes because it is. And the consistency should prevail, but it doesn't for people who are more like blue team, red team. So,
Yes. And just to clarify, yes, not going near ACP ever. Nobody should.
Okay. Where are we? Oh yeah, 7:15. All right. So
yes, we were.
We should. Is that what you're saying? We should. Is that what you're going to say?
I pushed the button 3 times. Did you block me every time?
Every time.
I'm pushing the button. All right, let's go.
All right, pushing. Here we go.
Joy. Here's some joy, y'all.
Okay, I
tried to make it a Lego night.
Oh, I picked up my empty bottle, but good thing I brought a second one. Okay, wait 1 second. I did not start with a full bottle on the other one. I'm just saying.
Second bottle.
Ooh, do we have more lols?
We got more lols. We got Brian Frange on Tesla.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No, God, please, no.
Hey, it's Big Al for Tesla. You want to seem like you have money, but you're a gym teacher? Buy a Tesla and make Denise question turning you down for drinks. Maybe he's got investments. That'll show her. You not give a shit about the environment, but still want a hand job? Take a reserved charging spot at the mall. It's like having a handicap pass for your personality. Did your sister tell you your app idea was stupid? Let her fumble with the door handles for 5 full minutes. Who's stupid now, bitch? Did you forget the password to your crypto wallet? Get a custom license plate. An 11-year-old would like no regrets. But what's that rattling noise in my engine? Who gives a fuck? Elon Musk has a rocket ship. Ooh. Are you a 53-year-old man making $80 to $100K per year who inherited a suburban house and has weekend custody of 2 teenage children named Parker and Dylan? And you're positive someone is blocking your DMs to Joe Rogan even though you have very important information about the shadow government? Pay off your Tesla loan by using it to drive Uber. That's not sad at all. Everyone is jealous of you and they're gonna be sorry once you become a god.
That's funny. That's very funny. Sorry. I just I like this too. Just bought Just bought a shirt and bumper stickers on Temu that says the only minority destroying the country are the billionaires. I love it. Stickers, high traffic areas. Yeah, be careful, but that's awesome. And thank you for your super chat. I love that. They are the only minority destroying this country. And
it's funny in California. In California, you got 1 million Teslas with I bought this before Elon, or, some spin on that.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Like, my brother's got a Tesla, and we do a lot of EV charger hookups for Teslas.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I know.
But if you knowingly buy a Tesla truck now, unsubscribe from our show, please. Please step out.
So I don't know if Lynn is in the chat today or not, but I rarely go on TikTok or Instagram, and I saw though that she had sent us a bunch of music suggestions, and they're so good.
Really good.
Yeah,
Good.
they're really good. But I love this one, and it kind of just fits in with what we're talking about. Can I just show it?
Do it.
I'm just going to call an audible. If I can call an audible on drinks, I can call an audible on music. This is Brandon Reisdorf, just voted. Lynn, if you're out there, thank you for all of the suggestions.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
Every time I see the news, I shed a couple tears. What a shame. The only way to help is every couple years. I guess I'll sit here by myself and drink a couple beers and remind myself eventually this mess will disappear. When I'm lacing up my sneakers, I'll be ready when it's time. Even if it takes an hour, I'll be standing right in line. It's my patriotic duty. Just tell me where to sign. I've been practicing my signature. This time they'll know it's mine. And when I vote, I'll put that sticker on my chin. But there ain't much for me to do between right now and then, so I'll just hope. And I'll vote until we win. And if we keep on losing it, I guess I'll vote again. They got the whole wide world in their plans. Ain't it so nice of them to let us pick from people they can stand? That lesser evil's getting pretty good at sleight of hand, but I'll play the cards I'm dealt long as my head's not in the sand. I read every single flyer busting out of my mailbox, trying to find a single goose that gives a fuck about the flock. I'll go take another gander and then go walk around the block, cause I feel like throwing stones, but I just keep on kicking rocks when I vote. I'll put that sticker on my chin, but there ain't much for me to do between right now and then, so I'll just hope. And I'll vote until we win. And if we keep on losing it, I guess I'll vote again. Now my stickers are all faded and stuck all around my room. I'm doing all I can in between the doom and gloom. Sometimes I almost hear it like a heartbeat in a womb. Call it divine or evolution, but a flower's bound to bloom. And if somehow the next one doesn't happen, I'll be here to do my part when democracy resumes. Cause I'm gonna vote. Picture that sticker on my chin, cause there ain't much for me to do between right now and then, so I'll just hope. And I'll vote until we win. And if we keep on losing, it sure seems like we keep losing, and this time I think I'm losing it. I guess I'll vote again in a couple years.
I love how he mocks that, like, do your civic duty. I love it. It cracks me up. Like, he's obviously making fun of everybody. I get you. You know, we do have there's not a ton of different types yet. The one who does the most playing around is Explosive Media. No,
they did some country songs.
Yep,
right?
and they did some like then they do like
Irish
a swing
jig.
song, musical. They did something, and then there's a couple of new. Wait a second. There was another person. Oh, Brick Truth does, the country stuff. And then there was also, maybe we'll wait till tomorrow. But Militar Craft does also like different kinds of stuff. Yeah. But anyway, I like his sarcasm. Like, don't do anything in between voting, but you do your voting and nothing you can do until then. We just keep losing. I don't know. Crazy time. And Lynn, I think, is somebody who watches but doesn't always participate in the chat, but I don't know.
So I know we're in a weird little limbo because it's almost 7:30. I think we should just do some joy.
All right,
let's just roll some joy.
Bring some joy.
Someone wants a pup, so here's your girl, Amelia Sampson.
Love her.
Hello, are you having a bad day? Because I keep a repository of things that have made me smile on my phone, and I would love to share them with you. For example, there's this dog in Japan named Ben, and he gets dressed up, and he is the most dapper gentleman I've ever seen in my entire life. What do you mean? Look at his bow tie. Like, this is a man that has lived a full life and now is retired in Scotland and owns a farm. He has a tailored suit. Are you smiling yet? Because if not, then here's this cat that guards watermelons on a farm in Thailand. You don't want to mess with these watermelons. Look at him. Don't even breathe in the direction of my watermelon. Apparently this is like a very affectionate cat. He just looks a little angry. And it's very effective. I will not be going anywhere near these watermelons anytime soon. Still not smiling? Here's this little reminder that you don't have to be at your strongest to make a difference. This man collected 7 bags of trash in his local nature reserve. And look at how proud of himself he is. And he should be. I'm so glad that he told us. And this note that this child left for whoever sat in the seat on the airplane after them. Hello, I don't know who you are, but I sat in this seat before you and I hope you have a good day and a good flight. I'm writing this message because I am a kid with a goal to make the world a nicer place. So please do an act of kindness today out of the good of your heart and tell the person to pay it forward. This way we can start a chain of good in this world. Have a good day. The kids are all right. Future is gonna be okay. I'm sorry, just circling back.
I think we all needed that. Just something really, really sweet. I love that. Did we miss any? Steven's going to bed, putting his feet up. And Kitty, I totally understand because I definitely sometimes miss the sarcasm because I am so angry and it doesn't feel like sarcasm because it's what actually people do say. So Kitty didn't understand at the beginning or didn't I think she's also probably doing other things, but didn't get that was a joke song about I voted. So, but it was definitely making fun of those people. Yeah.
I'm a softie. Even though I'm MAGA. I mean, my MAGA.
You're not MAGA. You are not.
I got 1 or 2 more days and I'm going to go full Luigi. Yay, with a little twisty.
Don't threaten us all with a good time. I'm trying to
go.
type good night to 2Fs, but my thing is going so slowly. Good night, 2Fs. I can't type fast enough. Just because we only have a couple minutes and I just want, this is so crazy to me. And I really feel like people need to understand what this cyclosporiasis is because they're acting like it's just about the shredded lettuce and Taco Bell. Well, first of all, now they're not entirely sure. And Myra wants a Lego. I don't know if we have another Lego for tonight, but we see you and we will bring more for tomorrow for sure. Okay, so there's, stay away from fresh produce. Awesome. Thanks, Maha. What are we supposed to eat? Nothing fresh, nothing with fiber, vitamins, minerals, nothing. San Diego infectious disease doctor says it's probably best to stay away from fresh produce for the next week or so, even if you wash it. A fecal parasite illness, known as cyclosporiasis, has now reached California. This was July 13th, so that was 9 days ago. Just as a reminder that, DOJ definitely axed so many of the divisions that would be monitoring this. But I also don't forget when there was the listeria breakout and Biden had cut part of the analyzing group in whatever it is, the CDC or the FDA, and so there was another breakout there and he cut that down also. Nobody is pro-science in these administrations because that would interfere with accumulation of capital. But this, I think, is really important. Cyclosporiasis is an AIDS-defining disease. Only in patients with severely compromised immune systems. CD4 counts are less than 200 cells per, Butric liter, can cyclosporiasis present this aggressively. So when you are thinking about what is going on and how this is spread across the whole nation now, they are not really handling it on any level. They still don't know for sure the source. They thought it was probably Taylor Farms, but now they're not entirely sure. We don't have, they're cutting back on all the different departments in the CDC who test these sorts of things. And again, like, so people are now going to boil away the vitamins and minerals in the vegetables and produce that could actually be making us healthier, which it won't anyway, because it's grown in shitty land with shitty air and Monsanto glyphosates everywhere, which is all.
And
true.
all of this is a further threat because we're not acknowledging how weakened our entire country's immune system is from COVID still. That's the connection. Yeah. It's like we're just pretending that that's not a thing, and everyone has airborne AIDS on some level. A lot of people do, which spreads all these diseases further. And,
I mean, you can't wash it off produce. Len, that's very funny. You can't wash it off. It's fecal parasites that like embed inside. When you cook it and you get to a certain temperature, that does kill it. So that's why they're saying, you can, you have to cook everything. I have been eating everything. Yes, it is the explosive diarrhea thing, which again, I don't understand the difference between regular diarrhea and explosive diarrhea, but okay. Yeah.
I don't want to go into. I have pictures.
I already saw a strike.
I have strikes
beautiful
pictures.
Alphabet poo. I think I'm done for right now.
Show you.
Will we have Jimothy tomorrow?
Okay, I will.
Tomorrow.
Why did I get off work in time enough before the show? I have pulled like 20 clips of Jimothy. You guys know who Jimothy is? Jimothy is the raccoon in Seattle who has his spine issue, so he's got like a little funky body.
Oh.
But he's adorable. Seattle is like making a thing of him. There's like people that have built there's statues, there's art, there's everything about Jimothy.
Okay.
He's adorable.
I'm going to look it up. Yeah. Taylor Farms got they basically waited an extra week to announce the recall because they had donated to Trump. And so they got a little bit of a dispensation to, postpone their recall. It's just so gross. Yeah.
And the thing about, so even when they portray it as violent diarrhea, right, which is explosive. Obviously whatever, explosive media out of your butt, it's still, it undermines what it is because you could have it for a month, right? So that's the thing that as a working class person, can you afford to be out a month because you ate at Taco Bell?
You got to get a note from your doctor. You're going to be out.
Right. So.
Yeah. No, it's, yeah. All right. Go eat your pizza and French fries.
There is no beer does not cause explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, no, my wine's great. Wait, they did not even pull them from, they just reduced the price at your grocery store, Rebecca. That is so crazy. Oh my God.
Grocery store outlet.
Oh, they should, you know what they should do? They should feed Netanyahu bagged salad.
Make it happen.
All right. You guys are all awesome. I know it's just such a depressing time right now, but being in community with all of you is truly, invigorating. And we so appreciate all of you guys and your support. People power, working class solidarity. That's where it is. Houston is out in force. They are protesting ICE. Don't fuck with Texas. And we love you guys. Keep punching up.
See you tomorrow at 6 with Steven Semler.
With Steven Semler.
Our buddy, the smartest guy who follows the math on all these wars and tragedies. He's great.
Cheers, everybody.
Don't mess with Texas. Houston, stand up. Shut ICE out. Let's go.
You have more in common with an immigrant, with the working person, than you do with a billionaire. Look, I've always said this. This is not red versus blue. This is not conservative versus liberal. This is not white versus brown versus black. This is not. It's literally the working class versus the billionaires that run this country. Detention centers are for-profit centers. They make money. Billionaires make money because a lot of those are private prisons. They get money by the federal government. So it's just a recycle of billions of dollars that stay with the 1%. Texas, undocumented population, they contribute $5.9 billion a year into the economy of Texas, and they get zero for that. So at the end of the day, when you say that we're stealing jobs, that we're a burden, in reality, the immigrant community upholds Texas. We cannot show them that we're afraid, because at the end of the day, the ones that are really afraid is them. They are afraid of us.
In the state of Texas, Maher Tarabishi was detained by ICE unjustly while his son, who depended on him for medical support, died without his father's case. So when we see ICE agents killing Lorenzo on the streets of Houston, as Palestinians, as Arabs, as Muslims, we understand that this is connected from the US's attack on our movement. So the real South is a fighting South. The real South, the real Texas, the real Houston is a city that does not sit idly by while workers can't afford to feed their families and while our migrant communities are kidnapped and murdered by ICE. Houston is a city that fights back. Houston is a city with conviction, with power, that knows that we have more in common with our fellow Houstonians than we ever will with our elected officials or the ICE agents that murder our communities.
No one deserves to die for going to work. No one deserves to die for wanting to have a better life. My dad woke up one day to go check on our neighbor's house to find an ICE raid happening. 7 to 8 men were taken. They arrested 4 of my coworkers and deported them, 2 of which had their legal documents to work, and they are all now in Mexico. We all are just out here working hard. If you look like this, that doesn't mean I deserve to die. We're out here sweating. We're out here being loud, being proud the way a Texan is. We're not going anywhere. We stand 10 toes down. Come out, stand up, fight for your rights, fight for your people, fight for the person to the left, to the right, front, and behind you. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done.
So we need to unite right now, just like Minneapolis did, and just like every other community around the United States is being harassed by ICE. Yeah, you come for one of us, you come for all of us, man. So don't mess with Texas. Get the fuck out of my community. Get the fuck out of my city. Leave my family alone. Fuck ICE. Thank you.